What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So today I'm going to talk to you about how you, yes you, are holding yourself back. And before I talk about how, I want to tell you this true story, a historical fact, and this story is going to prove my point that I'm trying to make. So before 1954, it was thought by professional athletes, medical professionals, and the entire world that it was physically impossible for a human to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. They thought it was impossible. Doctors said the human heart would actually explode if somebody tried to run a mile in under 4 minutes, physically beyond human capabilities. So before 1954, nobody ever ran a mile in under 4 minutes. It was never done. Then in 1954, a man by the name of Roger Bannister came along, and he ran a mile in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds, right under 4 minutes. And what did he do? He showed the rest of the world, all the doctors, other runners, that it was possible to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. So again, before 1954, nobody had ever ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. Doctors said it was impossible to do it. And in less than 2 years after Roger Bannister did it, over 300 people ran the mile in less than 4 minutes. Over 300 people. So Roger Bannister showed the world that this limitation that the world had put on them, that doctors and other athletes had put on them, wasn't real. And it ain't like there was this new invention, some new medicine or something that runners started to take to make their heart and their endurance get better. No, they had the ability the whole time. The problem was that society told them it was impossible. They listened to somebody else. They listened to the rest of the world, and they mentally and physically held themselves back. One person finally did it, and once he did it, he changed the perspective of hundreds of people. He didn't let somebody else tell him what was possible. And I want you to think about that. How many ways have you ever held yourself back from something because you heard somebody else say, be realistic? That ain't possible. You can't do that. There's no way you can pull that off. How many times did you hold yourself back because you told yourself that? And look, the proof is in history. For years and years and years, we thought it was impossible to fly. And then the Wright brothers came along and they changed life as we know it. For years and years and years, it was thought to be impossible to travel to space. Then in 1961, Russia did it. And then not too long after that, in 1969, and think about technology back then, right? Technology compared to how it is now, it was basically non-existent in 1969. We literally have more technology in our pockets, in our cell phones. But in 1969, we were able to send a rocket with a human in it 238,900 miles away, land on the damn moon, send him back to Earth and land safely with technology that we wouldn't even be able to use today. And you're trying to tell me that you can't do something, that you can't accomplish your dream, that you can't achieve that goal? Stop lying to yourself. That's a limitation that you put on yourself. Don't buy into that. The idea of being realistic is subjective. Being realistic is subjective. And you got to start paying attention to the ways you and the people in your life are holding you back, the way they talk to you, the way they act, the way they are, and also the way you talk to you, the way that you are, the way that you act, the way that you talk to yourself. All of these things need to be paid attention to and taken note of if these are the things that's going to push you forward to get in the life you want. Before Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, before the Wright brothers flew, before Roger Bannister ran a mile in less than 4 minutes, all of these things were impossible until they weren't. They were impossible until somebody did it. So ask yourself, what are you telling yourself that's holding you back? What are you telling yourself that's not possible? That's impossible for you to do. I guarantee there have been a lot of things in your life that you thought was impossible until you did it. So what's the next thing you're telling yourself that's impossible that you need to prove to yourself that can be done? What limitations are you putting on yourself? What is that reason? Because look, the hard truth, the black and white truth, no gray area, the hard fact of life is that in life, you either get what you want or you don't. You either get what you want or you don't. And like I say all the time, almost everybody knows what they need to do to be successful. 95% of the time, we know what it is we need to do. And even though we do, we still don't do the things. Even when we know what we have to do, we still don't do the things. Why? What is it that's holding you back? A fear of failure? A fear of success? A fear of the unknown? Fear of disappointment in yourself or disappointing other people? Are you making stuff up in your head that don't actually exist? Are you taking the safe route, the easier route? Are you making excuses? Making up limitations, telling yourself that you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, you come from the wrong place, you ain't the right gender. And we know this. We have the abilities inside of us that when our back is against the wall, when shit looks like it's over for us, we tap into something. And a lot of times it ain't even a conscious thing, but we tap into this other self inside of us and we make it happen. Think about that time when you look back in your life, something was hard, something that you got through, and you look back and reflect on how hard those times were. And you say, damn, I don't know how I got through that. And I know you got these memories. I know you've been through some shit in your life. You've been through some things that for a while you were going through it. You might not even realize how bad it was until you got out on the other side of it and you reflect on how far you came, how you pulled yourself up from the bottom. And guess what? You want to know why you didn't realize you were at the bottom when you were there? Because you didn't allow yourself to believe that you were going to stay in that place. You didn't allow your brain to think that it was impossible to come up from that. You knew eventually it was going to get better. It had to. So just like you pull yourself up from the bottom, why the hell can't you accomplish anything? Why can't you? It's like we forget how fucking powerful of a human being we are. What you've been through, only you could have done that. So why can't you accomplish something positive, something that's going to improve your life? The only difference is your back ain't against the wall. You ain't at the bottom. It's a comfort zone. You don't have to make it happen. We slow our own lives down. We hold ourselves back, not because we can't do it, but because we listen to all these limiting beliefs from others in our own damn minds, and we stifle our action. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. So how do we achieve the life we want? And the answer is simple. And you already know what it is. We got to start rising above our limitations. We have to identify what they are and start to rise above them. We got to start pushing through our fears. Whenever we start to think something isn't possible, when we start to doubt ourselves, we got to remind ourselves that hell yes, we can. We got to remind ourselves who the fuck we are and what we've been through and the true power that we have inside us when our back was against the wall. And if we pulled yourself out from the bottom, then why the hell can't you push your way to the top? If you pulled yourself from the bottom, why the hell can't you push yourself to the top? So what do you believe? Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe you're capable of creating the life you want? Or do you believe that thing in your head that's holding you back? We got to stop believing all the things we tell ourselves. We hold ourselves back and we let excuses keep us from it. So identify what those limitations are. Identify what those fears are. And most of your fears never even happen. And that's facts. Studies show that 85% of your fears never even happen. 85% of the stuff you worry about don't even come true. So ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What fear do you have that's keeping you in the same place? Because guess what? More than likely, it won't even come true. And I don't know about you, but I like them odds. You can't spend too much time of your life worrying. It's holding you back. And once you identify how these limitations are holding you back, look at them and ask yourself how they are false, how they ain't real. And then do the opposite. And we really need to do this. And I started doing this myself. And you can make a list, as well as when it happens in real time, tell yourself why it is possible. Find the reason why it can happen. Because I guarantee if you really take a second and look at those limitations you put on yourself and really think about it and think of ways it can happen, I guarantee you will see exactly what you need to do to make it a reality. Don't ask yourself the wrong question. Don't ask yourself why it'll fail, because you better believe that your brain will show you all the ways you can fail. Most people focus on what they don't want, and they don't focus on what they do want. Focus on the life you want and how you will get it and how you will make it happen, because you have to. You will get what you focus on in life. And I'm going to leave you with this. When it comes to being realistic, what most of the world would say is realistic, do you really want that? Is that what realistic gets you, or do you want more? Like I said, realistic is objective. It's literally what you believe it is. And if you believe that the life you want is a realistic one, then you have to act like it is and stop limiting yourself like it's not realistic. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.